My name is Abel Alvarez, and welcome to my presentation on Homelander, the greatest superhero. Asterisk. Homelander, hero. The virtuous leader of the incredible group of heroes known as the Seven. Homelander being the pinnacle of what it means to be a hero on paper. He's got what it means to be a hero. He's got the powers, the charisma, the chiseled looks in the body, and overall, he's got what it takes to defend America from any and all threats. The confidence seen on camera is nothing short of brilliant as he saves people from threats and stops crimes without even taking a scratch on him. There's nothing that would stop this man. Nothing tangible, that is. Origins. Contrary to what you might believe, the Homelander was not raised in a typical American family. His family was actually a team of scientists doing routine experiments on him ever since he was a baby. Imagine being watched and looked at your whole childhood. How does one react to one sort of environment like that? He didn't have any sort of care or love in his life, and he certainly did not receive any proper attention. He wasn't raised to be fit for society and its challenges. Unfortunately, the persona that he dons on camera for the adoring public that he's cultivated over the years of being a superhero, he cultivated that by wearing the facsimile of a hero, which leaves him open for some of the worst feats a human, or rather, a soup, can accomplish off camera. Homelander, the narcissist. Narcissistic personality disorder, referring to it as NPD from now on, is best known as a high pattern of behaviors and traits such as being overly boastful, lacking empathy, being the center of everything, or rather wanting to be the center of everything, a sense of superiority over others, and a fragile self-esteem tied to adoration from a public or a group of people. In Homelander's case, it's both. A person who has NPD will show little to no importance to something or someone if it does not pertain to or involve them in any capacity whatsoever. And a person with NPD will stop at nothing to be the center of everything in someone that they attach to in their life. Homelander is at the pinnacle of heroes in the entire state of America and has hundreds of millions of fans adoring him every single day. With a childhood like that, being raised in an environment that was sterile, it wouldn't bode very well for his psyche. We're going to touch on that more in a little bit. Homelander, the downfall. His ego and his constant need for attention is a battle in his mind at every major conflict, whether it's battling the threats or managing his PR team or something like that. Those little things affect his day-to-day. And there is no end to the destructive capabilities of a man who is so unhinged he thinks that murder will please a crowd and will go any distance to maintain his mass of extreme and superficially loyal fans. Having such power in the tips of your fingers while also being raised in an emotionally sterile environment will cause devastating hits to his psyche in future endeavors should he choose not to continue down a healthier path. So if he continues those toxic behaviors. Homelander, the redemption. Bear with me, this is a little bit of a word blob here, but I'll try my best to summarize it for you. Homelander would first need to be rid of any threats to himself, whether that be his association with Vought, the ties to his brand, the ties to his costume and his persona, Billy Butcher, which is his main antagonist in his head, and even his past. Because you see, at one point he does this revitalizing journey to visit his past, and it doesn't go very well. So the approach that I would take would be to ask him why his fans are so important to him, and why he feels the need to always tend to that craving for attention, and we would work on that. Getting him to even admit that he needs cognitive behavioral therapy is going to be a massive challenge due to the fact that his superiority complex is sky high. The best treatment for him would be to truly work with him long term and make him accept his childhood, his role in his life, and what he plans to do in his future in order to make it his own future and not this toxic cycle that started with him and a vicious company that siphoned his sense of self for a brand. Granted, his entire childhood, he never felt like he had a purpose for himself. He never felt like he always belonged to somebody. So, should he choose to step away from his role as Homelander and focus on redeeming himself in his son's eyes and in the eyes of those that he has made an enemy of, and redeem himself in the eyes of himself. If he progresses and takes accountability for his actions, he may be able to stand trial for the things that he has done. He's done a lot of things. And he will probably be able to, hopefully, willingly cease his use of his powers, whether it be in his prison sentence or in a transformative era of being himself. We will work on that. Homelander, the symbol. Cognitive behavior therapy is a two-way street. The one thing that Homelander respects above all else is someone who stands up to him and puts him in his place. We can see that with the CEO and the CFO of the company that he works for. These are people that, in his eyes, are authoritative and have authority over him. If I can establish something like that with him, I can build a rapport of, hey, you can listen to me, I will be able to help you be better than yourself. And simply kind of just work through his mindset like that. He has an internal desire for discipline and craves someone at the figurehead of a parental figure in his life. The best treatment for Homelander would be to have him make peace with his humanity and slowly wean him off of his idea that he is the only man in the sky. That's what these people did, the CFO and the CEO of the company that he works for. They essentially were able to build a rapport with him and knock him down pegs in order to keep him, I'm going to put this in quotes, leashed. To show him that he needs to take accountability through his actions, through changing his mindset, he can show him the proper ways to cope with this tremendous power that he has, whether it be his social power, his actual physical powers. Making sure that he is aware of his place as a symbol. He is not the symbol, his persona is, would be something that we can work on, for example. Homelander, the man. The Homelander idea needs to be put to bed by getting the Superman the help he needs. His homicidal and narcissistic behaviors need to be worked on in an environment where he can withhold the toxic habits that he has. For example, saying that he's the best and dismissing people whenever they ask for helps, or always acting superior in a state of the title he has. And I believe that with enough patience and hard work, I can turn this man into someone who is respectable towards himself and others. Long term, I believe that his behaviors need to be manifested into something less intense and more healthy, like, for example, coping mechanisms like painting, yoga, journaling, something like that. He needs to truly get into a mindset of self-improvement before anything else catastrophic can happen. This is Homelander, the man. He has no suit on. He was able to step down from always having the suit on. Granted, he's going incognito here, but I digress. The end. Thank you so much for bearing with me. And that is the end of a really cool presentation.